everybody, this is Kathy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a card using this stamp set by Simon Says Stamp. It's called Caring Thoughts. I'm going to be watercoloring the stamps, these little characters. I'm debating which one to use. I'm undecided, so I ended up stamping both of them. And I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black ink because I want to watercolor. I'm going to be watercoloring these and using the VersaFine is waterproof ink. So that way when I use the water, it doesn't smudge all over. So I'm pressing that down. I'm stamping this down a couple times so I can get a nice crisp image. Excuse me. I'm using um, about an 80-pound white cardstock. I'm not sure where it's from. It's probably from Michael's. I'm sorry, it's not. It is B Company watercolor paper. Oh, hello, Kathy, where are you? Sorry about that. It is from B Company watercolor paper, so it is kind of like a hot press, so it doesn't have that much texture. So that way I'm able to stamp directly. Have a nice crisp image when I'm stamping. So when I was watercoloring these images, I am not a pro. I'm just starting out with watercolor. I've dabbled in it here and there. But I took out my core watercolors because I had those handy and they're super vibrant, and I've been loving the vibrancy of those colors. But in hindsight, I didn't have enough variation in colors, so I had to mix up some of the colors. As you can see, I've painted out of the lines, but that's the fun about watercolor is um, it looks great no matter what. I think it's very forgiving. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some music so you guys could watch the rest of the watercolor, and then I'll see you guys on the flip side. Okay, so I'm just finishing up there my watercolors. You can see I painted out of the lines. Um, but like I said, watercolor is very forgiving. Once I die cut this out, you're going to see that it didn't really make a difference. So I'm adding a little bit of the cheeks, um, and just adding a little bit of shadows here and there, and adding some grass. And I'm telling you, I'm not the best, but I get by. So now I'm using the coordinating die cuts because they cut out like the little inside. It's even cutting out the flower. Sometimes I'll cut out my images with my brother Scan and Cut, but in this case, since it had so much detail, I wanted to use the die cut images. I mean the coordinating dies. So I'm using my Anna Griffin die cutting machine to cut these out. And let me put that back into my magnet, but you're gonna see when I take these out, It cuts out the little fine details of everything, which I love. Look how cute. I'm not sure you could see that very detailed, but hopefully the camera can zoom in a little bit there. But it even cuts a little tail at the bottom, so I like that. So now I'm going to get my card together. Got some, I have my base. I had cut, like I had this remnant of some, I had a little card sort of base that I already cut out some clouds from that I had sitting there, and I'm trying to use up some of my stash that I have there that I didn't use up when I cut out some flowers, and I thought it would make a great background. I also used some glitter. I believe I got this from a glitter pad from Michaels, some glitter paper. So I cut that just a little bit smaller than my actual card base, so it has a little border. And now I'm putting in some foam tape to the back of this this prior cut that I had that had the clouds cut out of it, just to give it some dimension, and so it looks a little bit nice when I put the background for the glitter. And the foam tape, I believe it's just from Amazon, and it's not relatively thick, but it lifts it up just enough to get a little bit of a dimension. So I'm using my card base that's 110 pound for the card base because I want something thicker. And now I'm going to just put my glitter background, and I'm holding that down with one of my magnets so it doesn't go anywhere. And I am using my glue. It's a glue. I just got this recently, but it's a from My Sweet Petunia. It's kind of like a glue press. It keeps the glue in a little stand from clogging up. And I just got it, so I'm still trying to test it out and see how much I like it. So I put that down first, and then I put in my layer of my clouds. Sorry, you see my big head there. I want to make sure I have a good that I put it in the proper place. And I want it to kind of have a nice dimension. There goes my big head again. Sorry about that. So now I'm just trying to see which image I want to use. That one is so pretty. I think it creates a nice little what do you call it? A nice even. I don't know what the word is. Or they aesthetically, it looks nice aesthetically. And now I want to just put a greeting, which I got from the stamp set as well, from the Simon Says stamp set. I'm going to put the other one aside, and I'm going to be using. Then I start changing my mind to see which one I like. And I'm going to get out my Misty. I'm going to be embossing that image. I'm going to put the powder tool for the static powder tool, and then I'm just using a little Versamark ink to stamp out my greeting. And then I'm going to use my Hero Arts white embossing powder to emboss that. What it'll do is just heat it up and it'll melt into that image and almost look like a little glossy. Uh, and I don't think it comes out very well. I'm gonna have to do it again it didn't come out very well, but I think I do a second one because I didn't like the way that one came out. Yeah, it was kind of sideways, so I'm kind of turning it around again and going for a second one, and I'm aligning it a little bit more. Again, using my Versamark. I don't think I used my powder tool on that one. Hopefully it doesn't create any static. And I pressed that a few times just to get a nice crisp image. And we're going again in for the Hero Arts white powder. This time it comes out a nice crispy. It's a shiny little raised, and when it melts, it just creates this shiny little raised, has raised dimension on it. So I'm just using my trimmer just to cut that out. I'll make it straight. And I can't believe I'm going to make it straight. Sometimes mess it up over here in this part. I'm kind of clearing up on my little embossing powder, cleaning it up. I'm going to pop up my little image with the same um, foam tape, which is not too thick, just to give it a little bit of dimension again. And again, see how when you watercolor, like it doesn't, like I knew I watercolored outside of the images, but once you use the die cut, the coordinating die, it didn't look too bad. There was some pieces, yeah, but I'm just gonna add the greeting, just trying to figure out where I want it. There you go. It balances out. That's the word I was looking for a bit ago. Can't even speak today. Sorry about that. I'm gonna add a little bit of bling. Trying to get like an odd number. They say like an odd number is better. I'm not great with placement of the bling, but I figured with the odd number, and then I like to place some tucked in every once in a while. Um, and I'm get my glue and stick that in there. And I'm using my little wax tool just to hold the gems in place. I love that. And it doesn't stick to my fingers either, the static. I'm going to tuck that one in a little bit underneath that image. And then adding one aqua colored one. There you go. Hopefully it's going to focus here so you guys can see the detail. Now I'm going to stamp the back of my card with my information. I got this self-inking stamp that says handmade with love. There you go. It's all finished. Thank you for watching.